Mahuka is the new for 2024 launched roller coaster at Walibi Rhone-Alpes. This is Intamin's second ever hot racer, and it's far superior to the prototype in terms of comfort and forces. This is why I now think it could be the best single rail coaster out there. I will explain why in this review. Back in 2018, Rocky Mountain Construction, or RMC, debuted their Raptor model. This reintroduced the single rail coaster to the amusement industry. The thick spine eliminated track ties, allowing the track to span larger distances between supports. This was intended to accelerate construction and lower costs. RMC's Raptor coasters were very well received by parks and parkgoers. As a result, Intamin created their own take on the single rail coaster. Named the Hot Racer, this model differentiated itself from the RMC offering by giving launches instead of a lift hill. The first installation went to Luna Park, Sydney in late 2021. Named Big Dipper, this coaster offered a dynamic and fast-paced layout. But there were two drawbacks to Intamin's single rail coasters relative to the RMC offerings. One, the forces were noticeably tamer, but that was deliberate at the park's request. Intamin has shown with other models they can design extreme rides, so this wasn't too big of a concern. 2. The trains had a very strong rattle further back in the train. This was a bigger concern. I am pleased to say both these issues were fixed with their second hot racer. Mahuka opened in 2024. This was part of the massive expansion that Walibi Rhone-Alpes has undergone over the past decade. This has included multiple new coasters and upgraded theming. Mahuka is the anchor of the park's exotic island section, and this coaster looks fantastic. Unlike a lot of European parks that tend to open their coasters early before the theming is finished, Mahuka is a complete package already. The ride is themed to an ancient temple. You pass under this large archway to access the attraction, passing these stone pillars. The plaza then has a jeep in the middle. Then the queue line winds its way through an archaeological dig site. Then the coaster passes by the temple at a few points, most notably on the corkscrew. The other parts of the ride are nicely landscaped, particularly the back end of the attraction that passes some rockwork and water. The trains are then brilliantly designed to look like worn jeeps, matching the vehicle you see in the ride's plaza, and their yellowish paint scheme contrasts beautifully with the indigo track. That track looks great as well. These single rail coasters look cartoonish with their weird appearance, and I absolutely love the unique top hat structure utilized by two different track sections. This is also placed atop the ride's entry archway, so it's front and center. One concern with this coaster was the capacity. As with the other single rail coasters, riders sit single file. Mahuka runs two trains, each seating just 9 riders total. This results in a theoretical capacity of roughly 600 riders per hour. That is less than we would typically want in a signature coaster, but it is manageable with good operations. Thankfully, Mahuka has great operations. Unlike most coasters, Mahuka regularly runs close to its theoretical capacity. This keeps the line moving at a steady pace. The trains and restraints are super easy to check, so the crew often rolls trains. I visited on a beautiful summer day, and Mahuka's line hovered around the 20 to 30 minute mark for much of the day. If you want even shorter wait, I have a few tips. First, head here immediately at park open. Mahuka is located in the very back of the park, so if you head there early, you may get several walk-ons. I was able to get 8 rides in the first hour before most guests got back there. Second, head to Mahuka around 1 or 2 p.m. Looking at the data on queuetimes.com, the wait time seems to sharply drop off around this time, and it held true for my visit as well. I am guessing people try to ride this before lunch, and then move elsewhere in the park. Third, head here during the last hour of the day. The park will keep Mahuka's queue line open right up until official park closing time, and the ride will be fully warmed up by this point as a bonus. You can also skip Mahuka's line entirely with a Fastpass. For its inaugural season, Mahuka is offering one-time skip-the-line passes for €7 per person per ride. I suspect in future years, it will be included in the park's all-day Fastpass system. Compagnie des Alpes has used a similar approach with a few of their other new coasters in recent years, such as Conda, Walibi, Belgium. When you reach the station, a grouper will assign you a row. If you ask nicely, they were more than happy to honor row requests. I thought the very front and back offered the best ride experiences, so I would recommend trying both if you have the opportunity. The front was better for the speed. Meanwhile, I thought the airtime was a bit better in the back row. Once seated, riders are secured by ultra-comfortable overhead lap bars. These feel similar to the ones on Intamin's latest thrill coasters, but they were upgraded on Mahuka to use carbon fiber to reduce the weight. Then there are no extraneous seatbelts, which helps expedite dispatches. Once dispatched, you turn out of the station. Without pausing, you hit Launch 1. This is a tire-driven launch. As with the other Intamin coasters using this propulsion method, it has a good punch. The train is yanked forwards, and riders are pinned against their seat back. This leads into the inverted top hat. The base gives a quick burst of positives. The front is then pushed through the first half of the element, and then you'll lean forwards coming out of it. Those in back, meanwhile, get some nice whip on the downward twist. Next is a speed hill. Those in back get solid ejector airtime all day long. Up front, this element improves as the ride warms up. It offers good floater airtime in the morning, but decent ejector by the afternoon. Without pause, you cruise over a low S-hill. It offers a decent ejector pop and robust lateral kink up front. The forces are even better in the rear rows. You get a good burst of ejector airtime and sharper laterals. This seamlessly transitions into a fairly forceful leftward turn. You then rise upwards and navigate a triple down. The entry offers a nice airtime pop for all rows. The following two humps are a bit too small to offer comparable forces. You are lightly tossed forward in the front rows, then you get a teeny bit of lift in the back row. The sense of speed is enhanced here though, because it runs alongside some stonework. Next is a corkscrew through the temple. This is a fantastic near miss, and it also induces some good floater airtime while inverted. I love this inversion. You then have a quick turn left into Launch 2. The second launch is a bit of a delay before it fires, but it delivers a good punch when it activates. It is similar in strength to the first one, again pushing you against your seat. I believe this is where you hit the ride's max speed of 42 miles per hour, or 67 kilometers per hour. And to be honest, I couldn't believe this ride's top speed was that low. It feels way faster. You then have the outside top hat, which is placed above the inverted top hat previously experienced. This is the ride's best spot for negative Gs by far. Those up front will get strong and sustained ejector airtime over the top. This is made even better by the outward banking at the apex. Those in back get great ejector in the descent, which is also paired with a sudden lateral jolt as you twist out of the outward bank. The valley hits riders with a high dose of positive Gs, and then you fly over a large bunny hill. This offers really nice sustained ejector airtime for all. And the X is a surprise head chopper as you dive underneath the aforementioned S-hill. The clearance envelope is really tight, so most riders instinctively yank their hands down in fear. Next is a mini Stengel dive. The snap left offers some decent airtime while you're on your side. Then the exit quickly twists you right. This fluidly leads into some low S bends. These are light on the forces, but they're agile and have a good sense of speed. Next is a banked turnaround. There's a hump midway through the element that offers a quick pop of airtime. It is weak towards the front, and noticeably better in the rear rows. This element wraps around some stonework as well, which hides the final element, a heartline roll. This is arguably the best element on the entire ride. It hugs the ground, so the train is whipped right on through it. This yields ejector forces as you rotate 360 degrees. The visuals are incredible too as you're flipping above a pond, so it feels like your head will graze against the water. The forces and placement of this were perfect. You then jump upwards, giving those up front a pinch of airtime, and then you hit the brakes. You then return to the station, ending the 1,969 foot or 600 meter long coaster. That is not a lot of track length, but the ride experience feels complete given how many elements it packs in. I already mentioned this coaster's modest top speed, but as I said earlier, this ride feels significantly faster. This coaster is phenomenal pacing. The elements are properly proportioned to maximize how they feel. There is no dead space as you charge from one element to the next, and the transitions in between are exciting between the forces or visuals. Then in terms of smoothness, Mahuka tracks very well. The front rows are extremely smooth. There is somewhat of a rattle in the rear rows, but it's not the least bit uncomfortable for me, just present. But this is a vast improvement over Big Dipper. It was much more tangible in that coaster. Intamin redesigned the train chassis and wheel bogies to reduce vibrations, and their efforts have paid dividends. So, what would I rate Mahuka? I would give this coaster a 9 out of 10. This is an excellent ride. The sense of speed and pacing are its strongest suits. Then the ride has plenty of notable elements as well. There are some really strong spots of airtime. All 3 inversions are enjoyable, particularly the last 2 that really stand out. And the whole experience is enhanced by some nice theming and landscaping. For many, this will immediately become the best ride at Walibi Rhone-Alpes, and it's a strong contender as the world's best single-rail coaster. You have the pacing of RMC's original Raptors, with a larger quantity of elements. I think the RMC Raptors as a whole still do better in the -G department, but Mahuka still has really good airtime and a greater variety of forces than the RMC offerings. And the trains are far superior, which better showcases those forces. Getting to experience a single rail coaster with just a lap bar leaves you super exposed. It is such a cool feeling. And if this wasn't clear from the start, this is way better than the prototype Hot Racer and Big Dipper. So I am excited to see Intamin continue to improve this model with future layouts. I would love to see more of these pop up. So those are my thoughts on Mahuka Walibi Rhone-Alpes. What are your thoughts on this coaster? Do you think it's the best single rail coaster? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you consider subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.